Please let me know if you can hear me audibly. Kindly let me know in the comments if you can hear me very audibly. Please, for the person online, kindly let me know if you can hear me very audibly. Please let me know if you can hear me audibly. Can you hear me? The person that just joined now. Can you hear me audibly so that we can just start? Others can just make use of the recordings. Please, if you're online, just drop in the comment section. I can hear you. Good evening. All right. I think I'm just going to start. Anyone who joins us as we proceed, yeah, we just move along with him or her. All right. Good evening, everyone. If you are online and if you are not here, when you are watching this broadcast, just drop your comment in the comment section. And if you can hear me now, just drop your name and where you are joining from. But if you are joining after this session, drop your questions and I will answer them. It's good to have us. Please, if you just joined, I can see two people online. Please drop your name. Let me know who is online. Let me know who is here. It's going to be a very great session. I don't want us to use more than 1 hour, but trust me, this is going to be a live transforming session because this is key. And I'm going to be sharing, and I'm going to be sharing my personal experiences as well in today's session. The session is all about ultimate guide for data professionals. It is no longer news that the job market has evolved over the years. Let me take us back a bit. I remember in 2017, early 2017, I applied to a school for a job. I applied to so many schools, but I did not get a response. But I kept on applying, so volume was a thing for me. So I ensured I used my volume. So meaning I applied a lot of so many schools, and the school reached out to me that I did not even apply to. All right. Forward to 2021, I applied for a data role, and luckily I was called. But before then, it was a lot of frustrations. Now, fast forward to 2025, a lot of things have changed. The way recruiters see um, prospective employees rather now, or candidate, let me just put it that way. The way recruiters see candidate has really changed and evolved over the years. So there is a need to be strategic when applying for roles. There is a lot that have changed. Before now, 4 years, 5 years ago, you just need to do one or two um, to get yourself called for an interview. You don't really need to do that much because the pool has not expanded. But now, even currently in Nigeria alone, within the space of 3 years, a lot of people have uh, done trainings, data analysis trainings, tons of trainings everywhere. If you look around Lagos, Abuja, a lot of trainings coming up. And I could remember my first training happened in that I did for people was around in 2021. Now imagine the bulk of the data analysis trainers I did. 2022, another batch, and then post 2022, the training space, expanded, skyrocketed, and we started seeing a lot of trainers everywhere, trainers, trainings, data analysis training. So what am I trying to say with all this? A lot of things has changed, and it is more competitive now to get even called up for roles. And meaning hard times or hard days requires what? Strategy to scale through. So let me start with my own experience. I was thinking, oh, I know a lot about CV. I even help people to arrange CVs. Oh, but in the last 6 months, I discovered that, that I even personally have a gap in that space. And what I did was to, seek for knowledge. I have a friend of mine who is very vast in that area. He has gotten, multinational leadership role. I'm not talking about multinational role. Multinational leadership role, meaning management roles, meaning imagine head of data, chief data officer, senior manager roles of data and the likes. And then I asked him, what are you doing differently? What did you do differently? And then I will be sharing in this video what he told me, all right, just in 9 slides or so, what he told me and how that has changed my game. So let me really just tell us what happened after I applied what he told me. In just a week or two, I got over 5 interviews. When I say interviews, I'm talking about head of data, the chief data officer, you know, senior managerial roles of data in big companies. Now, no one knows how good you are not until you are called. So it means you have to be strategic. And that's why we have this session. So I'll be taking us through shortly. So you can see that my game changed. Everything just so I can predictively to some extent say I'm going to be called for this job because of how I've structured my CV. And it was working. It is working, and to keep working. So I'm going to be sharing it with you. And I know after today's session, you're not going to remain the same. All right. Okay, let's get right into it. So this session is about CV guide for data professionals, how to create resume that gets noticed in 6 seconds. Now, after this session, please drop your comments. If you have questions, have it done. Drop your comments. And if you are watching this video after this session, drop your comment in the comment section. I will also attend to them. Okay, in today's competitive market, your CV needs to be an immediate impact. This guide will help you create a resume that stands out and gets you the interview. Now, let me start by sharing a story. 4 months ago, I was recruiting for a role in my startup, and I saw a CV. This person in person is not a graduate, just a student of a university, and the barest minimum for that role was university degree. But she applied, and when I saw that CV, I could sense the passion. I could she personalized that CV and said, "Oh, I want to get employed in Eagles Consulting and Eagles Consult." The way he personalized it, I knew he was ready for that job. He arranged it so well. And lo and behold, she got that job. She did well an interview, she got the job. So what am I trying to say? So people can only sense you by what you submit. And that's why you see what I've said there. The average time recruiters spend scanning resume is how many seconds? 6 seconds. The average time a recruiter spends is 6 seconds. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean it's 6 seconds that every recruiter spends. It means some recruiters spend 1 second, some 10 seconds, some 1 minute, some 30 seconds, some 45 seconds, some 1 second. But when you take the average of all recruiters, how many seconds do they spend? 6 seconds. What does that tell you? If someone is spending 6 seconds on your 3-page resume, what do you think will convince them that you are the right candidate? Because it means immediately they look at your resume, 1, 2, just count 6 seconds. They are looking at the first thing, they just maybe your contact or something, and then they see the first 2 lines, your professional, what's it called now? Summary, provide summary, and then maybe they just stripe down and then maybe look at your history, work history. That's all. 6 seconds is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's all. That's on average. Some don't even spend up to that. So what does that mean? It means you need to be strategic. You need to structure your CV well for you to stand a chance in 6 seconds. Now, the next statistic we saw you, the 54% of resumes are rejected that are hiring customized. So recruiters reject 54% of resumes that are hiring customized. What does this mean? It means if you just send in a generic CV, you just say data analyst, Presso Bank, data analyst, Alexo Bank, data analyst, Premium Bank. He said, Chibi, they are all banks. Let me just send the same CV. What you have done is that you've given that your CV 54% chance of it being rejected. Let me say that again. You are applying to 3 banks. You apply to the same with the same resume. If you did that, what you have done to yourself is you have reduced your chances of being called for an interview or for the next stage to 54%. So meaning you only have 46% of being called or chances of being called, so which is very slim. So meaning, what does that tell you? It means you have to customize your CV for every role. So if you're applying to 3 banks, look at the JD of that particular bank. 3 banks cannot give you the same JD. Look at the specifics of the JD and apply it to that CV before you send it out. This was one of the game changer for me. This was one of the game changer for me. I won't lie. Then I'll say, okay, Shebi, they are all just banks. There's no need for me to customize. They are all just banks. So I shouldn't be customizing anything. But the moment I started customizing, a lot of things changed. Now, the third very important vital metric here is 67% of recruiters look for what? Relevant job experience. This is such a blessing. This session is such a great session. It will really change your career. It will affect your career positively. 67% look for what? Relevant job experience. Meaning, if you are applying for a data analyst role and you are a data engineer and you apply with the CV of a data engineer, it means what? You have just 33% of being called, chances of being called. All right. So, meaning 67% of that your recruiter, they will look for what? Relevant job experience. Imagine 67% of recruiters looking for relevant job experience. So, meaning if you don't have the relevant job experience, you are out of the game. So, what does that mean literally? It means when you are structuring your CV, structure it to the name. So, in data analytics, please, if you are following, just drop a comment. The other two that just joined, just drop a comment. Your name and your location. Your name and your location. What does that mean? It means if you're applying for, we have different types of data analysts. role. There is data analyst, there is product analyst, there is business intelligence analyst, there is business intelligence analyst. You can also say product analyst, depending on the role. All right, the name for data analytics or data analyst professional changes. Do you get it now? So if you now apply for, if a role is data analyst and then you have a CV that reads business intelligence analyst, yes, they are the same thing, but you are expected to change that data analyst, business intelligence analyst, to what? To data analyst, which is what is on the JD. This again is one of the game changer for me. Before now, if I'm applying for, let's say, for example, I'm applying for a data analyst role, and maybe my CV reads business intelligence analyst, I will just apply like that. It's the same thing now. So there's no difference. Business intelligence analyst and data analyst are the same thing. But what has that done for me? I've reduced my chances of being called, because although the role is the same, business intelligence analyst and data analyst, but the JD or the job roles posted says data analyst. It is best for me to now change the name of that my business intelligence analyst on my CV to data analyst before applying. This really helped. This, gave that my friend I was talking about a very senior role in a multinational company, because he was able to, everything they said. Okay, we said we are recruiting for business intelligence analyst, and he also said, okay, his role data analyst, he has changed it to business intelligence analyst. They are recruiting for manager data analytics. Your own on your CV, you have head of data analytics. No, change it back to manager, or depending, or maybe you're senior, if you're a senior manager data analytics. This is very key. They are requesting for data engineer, although you know that you are a business intelligence engineer and there is no more difference. Change that your CV to from business intelligence data engineer, although maybe your current company called it business intelligence engineer. Change it from business intelligence engineer to what you have on that job role, which is data engineer. They are recruiting for analytics, business intelligence engineer, and you have data analytics engineer on your CV. Although BI engineer and analytics engineer are very similar, change that business intelligence engineer to data analytics engineer. This is very key, and that speaks to the 6 seconds rule we are talking about here. When someone has 6 seconds rule to look at your CV, when he's looking at 300,000, 200, let me not exaggerate too much, let's say 2,000, 5,000 CVs, you know that he already knows the role. You say, I'm recruiting for data analyst. The first thing the recruiter will want to check is, okay, who is the data analyst amongst those who have applied? When he sees those data analysts, he will just sieve them out first, before he now looks at maybe someone that has product analysis, business intelligence analysis, although they are the same thing, but because of the time frame, he or she will want to look at what aligns with what he's looking for first. So please take note of that. Take very, very, very good note of that. Okay, let me move to the next slide. I hope that's clear. If it's clear, just drop a comment. Just say yes in the comment section before I move ahead. I'm waiting for your comment. If you are here, just drop a comment. Let me know you are active. It's like we are not here, or you can just do a reaction. Use your emoji, use your reactions. Let me know you are here. Let me know you are following. Okay, no problem. No one is reacting. I want to believe you are here. I want to believe you are following me. Okay, let's go to the next slide, which is less is more. So years ago, this also applied to me. I said, CV. My CV cannot just be 1-2 pages now. It's not detailed enough. Why would they know a lot of things I've done? But I discovered that even with the years of experience I have, let's say, for example, now counting like 3 years of experience, all right, I don't need a 4-page, even a 3-page CV. At this my years of experience with about 8 years of experience now, I don't need 3 page. My CV is just 2 pages. Before now, I had my CV in 3 pages because I want to be detailed. My role in company A, I did this, I accomplished this. Company B, I accomplished this. Company C, I just want to be as detailed as possible. But all you need to do is 2 or 3 pages max. 3 pages sef, maybe for someone like in an educational background, maybe a doctor or something. But if you are a data person, professional, 2 is okay. Just ensure you use a very minimal margin so that it takes a lot of words. Reduce it. Recruiters take an average of 6 seconds to scan a resume. We've talked about that. So why should you have 3 4 pages? No one has that time to do that. So every line on page 1 is worth its weight in gold. Be strategically ruthless about how you use each one. So every line, your first page should be so strong. Whatever you say there, say it strongly as if you are seeing the person that is reviewing your CV, or you are speaking directly one-on-one with the interviewer or with the recruiter. That is the way you should sound. The way you will sound when imagine that from your estate gate, let's say your estate gate has 2 gates, someone is chasing you from the back and you want to go through the second gate. Now, and the security man is asking you that, what is your name? When last did you, just asking you, tell me about yourself. What is your name? Have you been able to jump, or have you been able to jump a fence before? How are you going to answer when you know that if you don't answer that question well, you won't pass through that gate? And what that means is the person that is chasing you, maybe with cutlass or gun or something, will catch up with you in the next 2 seconds if you don't answer. How will you answer? There is that kind of energy. Even if you have 70% experience, you will tell them you have 150. So that is the way your first page of your CV should sound. I believe you want to tell that person, yes, I've jumped Burj Khalifa before. There was a building in VI. From the 3-story building, I jumped down and nothing happened to me. I'm not lying. You'll be so fast to, share your wins so that it can give you access to pass. That is the same way you should structure the first page. Structure is such a way that your life dependent on that job. Structure it in such a way, make it small but concise, in such a way that someone that is reading it will want to say, who is this guy? So there's a guy I follow on I do see his posts on TikTok. What's his name now? I forgot. Victor. I think Victor Okafo. No, he said when he was applying for a particular role in a multinational company, what he told them was, I have done this for 2-3 companies and it has worked for them. I want to, assure you that if you can bring me in, the revenue of your company will increase by 20%. Now, no one will hear that last statement, that your revenue, who is this guy that is saying the revenue of our company will increase by at least 40%, 20%. Who are you? What are you going to do differently? Recruiter want to hear from that kind of person because it's so assuring. So that's how your first page should sound. What to avoid on page 1? Year 11 school results. So on page 1, don't put your university. Let that be your at the last page. There's no need to put that. Details of training courses. No, don't put training there. What page 1 should contain is your impact. So what page 1 should also not contain is every job you have had since university. No, you don't need to put all the jobs you've had. Cogent one, relevant ones. Your page 1 is very key. Impact. So pro tip is, think of most short-tempered person and write your first page for them. Get to the point. Focus on achievement rather than what? Responsibility. I was the one that is always clearing book in the office. I'm the one that will open the office. That is responsibility. That's not achievement. Achievement will be I opened the office every day, and which has, one day, which has increased the occurrence of accidents by 30%, something like that. Or maybe there was a day armed robber want to come in, and then you open the door for two people, two of your staffs, and they came in before the armed robbers could catch up. That is proactivity. That is achievement. Responsibility, we are open gate every day, and so what? Do you get it now? So these things are important. So the way you structure, talk with numbers. You are a data analyst. Don't just say I do this. No, I increase the efficiency of my company by 20% by building a dashboard. I increase the man-hour cost by 40% by, I know one questions we want to ask is, how do I quantify all these numbers? We'll talk about that. We'll get there. No one will read it. You damage yourself immensely when you share these three guys. No one has that time to keep reading stories. All right, let's go to the next slide. I hope you are still following. I hope you are still here with me. If you are still here with me, just react or just okay. You have a doubt, facile. Just state your questions down. We'll attend to them together. All right, is that fine? Yeah, just note them down. We'll attend to them together. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Tailoring your CV for each application. Tailoring your CV for each application. 54% of recruiters will reject a resume that isn't customized and tailored. Those are the cogent points I mentioned. How much you need to customize depends on your market power, but it's always better to err on the side of thorough customization. Now, here Raf's success story. Raf made many changes to his resume to cover every element of the job ad. The hiring manager told him he had never seen such an excellent resume, and Raf won the role despite coming from outside the industry. Underline this. Made many changes to his resume to cover every element of the job ad. So when a recruiter shares a role, must be attentive to. If you've written, let's say for example in your CV, you say I'm a fast learner, attention to detail, good communicator. If the job you're applying for has a different structure to that, remove it. If the job you're applying for example, is talking about maybe proactivity, maybe teamwork, maybe how you collaborate better, remove those ones you have. Put the ones the recruiter is asking for, because those are the details they will use to scan. If they are using the ATS, those are the details they will use to scan your resume. So you can see what happened to Raf. He changed resume to cover every element. So don't look at anything as obscure. Every element. And the hiring manager told him he has never seen such an excellent role. A draft won the role despite coming from outside the country, in the industry. All right. Market power is action. When your skills are extremely high demand, like maybe SAP consultant, where you have more flexibility. But for most data professionals, thorough customization is essential. So what this is that